Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Evening News Rundown. I promised you guys I'd be back. So thanks for tuning in. And as usual, we like to give you the latest COVID-19 reports globally here in the US and in the state of Florida. So globally, according to the World Health Organization, we're seeing nearly 9.3 million confirmed cases of COVID-19, and we are at nearly 480,000 confirmed deaths internationally. Here in the United States, Johns Hopkins University is reporting over 2.4 million confirmed cases and over 122,000 confirmed deaths. And we're going to come back to that US story in a minute. In the state of Florida, according to the Department of Health's dashboard, we're seeing over 114,000 confirmed cases here, and we are over 3,300 confirmed deaths in the state of Florida. Now, globally, in our world story, we talked to you guys about Germany and the spikes that they recently saw in the area of Gütersloh. We're coming back to that. We told you watch this space for more updates, and today is when the update has happened. More than 500,000 people in that area have now been required to go into lockdown. You heard us mention earlier this week about the meatpacking plant in Gütersloh, where they had to lock that down due to roughly 1,500 employees there that tested positive for COVID-19. Obviously, the meatpacking plant has been closed down. And according to reports, many of the employees at that meatpacking plant were actually immigrants. So we'll continue to keep you guys updated on that. However, there is one more city that is now affected by this particular COVID-19 spike. Gütersloh was one area in the North Rhine-Westphalia region. However, another city in that region or district in that region is also being affected. So that is part of the 500,000 total that is now being required to be under lockdown. Museums, bars, movie theaters, and gyms are closed in that area. And of course, you heard us talk earlier this week about schools and daycare centers over there, or kindergartens, of course, as they're called over there, have been closed down. The lockdown was lifted in April and it was kind of against Chancellor Merkel's better judgment. She wanted the lockdown to be in place for a little bit longer, but as we reported earlier this week, there was a little more pressure from regional leaders to reboot the economy, since Germany is Europe's largest economy. However, the lockdown was required again in those areas. Warrendorf is the name of that second district, in addition to Gütersloh, that is now seeing huge spikes in COVID-19. So that is a quick update where that's concerned globally. Jumping back here to the United States, 3 of our most populous states, California, Texas, and Florida, are continuing to see record highs in new coronavirus cases. Now, as of right now, these 3 states encompass 27.4% out of the 328 million people in the US in terms of the most recent COVID-19 cases. So a big concern in these 3 states. And then a couple of other states that deserve an honorable mention are the states of Arizona and the state of Louisiana, who they're now starting to see spikes as well that are concerning for them. In Arizona, they're seeing the highest number of new cases per capita. Right now, they hold the record for 3rd highest in terms of per capita, just below New York and New Jersey. So according to analysis from CNN with the data from Johns Hopkins University, they're seeing roughly 2,700 new cases per day over the last week that ended June 23rd. So as of right now, they're seeing 38 new cases per 1,000 people, per 100,000 people per day. So, and in Louisiana, they're seeing some concern. The governor there, John Bel Edwards, plans to issue a new proclamation extending phase 2 restrictions for another 28 days. So again, as you always hear us say here at Florida National News, please continue to observe all of the protection policies that are in place. Guard your hands, wash them, glove them, rub them in sanitizer. Make sure you wear your mask. That is the most effective way to slow the spread, since it spreads by droplets. Make sure to cover your nose as well, because it spreads by droplets in your nose as well. So wear your mask, protect your hands, wash them as often as possible, and practice social distancing. In Texas, they're seeing new cases and hospitalizations, and they're rising at their fastest rate yet. As of right now, the state is reporting well over 5,500 cases, and that was from Wednesday. So that broke the previous record of 54, over 5,400 the day before. So the concern continues. So everybody, please continue to be careful. All right. Now jumping down to the state of Florida, and a bit of disappointing news for some students. Osceola County has decided to cancel the rescheduled graduation ceremonies due to recent spikes in COVID-19, especially given the age difference now with the younger age folks that are now being affected. So the Osceola County School District, they made the announcement Tuesday that they're going to cancel the graduations. The superintendent there still plans to recognize the students because she said they couldn't let the accomplishments of their nearly 4,500 seniors go without recognition. However, the county school district is recommending for parents and students, if they want to find out more about when that reschedule is going to happen, when the updates will take place, to check with their individual school websites to learn more. So again, here in Florida, make sure you guys are careful. Originally, these ceremonies were planned for May, and they had gotten pushed to July 6th, but now those are canceled. So if you're a student or a parent in Osceola County of a student, make sure to check your respective school website for updates. Now that does it for our specific COVID-19 updates, guys, but stay tuned. We're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back.
All this time we fought side by side. We trained together. We lost together. And now, you're the only one standing in my way. It's been a while, old friend.
All right, guys, welcome back. Thanks for continuing to tune in with us. Now into our U.S. story that's non-COVID-19 related. In the state of Wisconsin, there is quite some unrest. So the Wisconsin governor, Tony Evers, actually activated the National Guard on Wednesday after some violence erupted on Tuesday. As a result of this violence, he decided to go ahead and call them in. There were about 200 to 300 people that were protesting, and a Molotov cocktail was thrown into a government building on Tuesday night. They descended on the Capitol, basically. So a Molotov cocktail was thrown into the building. Folks had to be repelled by pepper spray from the police that were inside the Capitol building. And unfortunately, some folks attacked a state legislator. A state senator was attacked, and he actually tweeted at 4 a.m. on Wednesday. The Senator Tim Carpenter mentioned he was punched/kicked in the head, neck, and ribs. So the governor actually toured the Capitol area on Wednesday, and after that, after the carnage, decided to activate the National Guard. The Associated Press was reporting a little later on Wednesday that about 100 protesters were in the area, and statues were toppled in the Capitol area, 2 statues to be specific, one of which was actually a Union Civil War hero. This was someone who was an abolitionist. It was a Civil War Colonel, Hans Christian Haig. So this was someone who was injured. He suffered battle injuries from the Battle of Chickamauga. So there are a lot of question marks going on in terms of the motive behind toppling those statues. But the governor went on to say in a vocal statement that if the protesters' goal was to advance social justice and policing reforms in the state of Wisconsin and making sure systemic racism is a thing of the past, that the protesters failed. Those are his words. And we'll continue to keep you guys posted on this one as well. He basically called in the National Guard to protect the public buildings and infrastructure in the area in case protests escalate again. So again, watch this space. We'll continue to keep you posted. Jumping back down here to the state of Florida in a bit of positive news. If you're a teacher, you'll appreciate this one. Governor Ron DeSantis has announced $500 million that has been allocated to raise teacher salary. Now, 100 million of that 500 million will be going towards experienced teachers who are already making more than the average minimum. But the goal of this funding was to, as Governor DeSantis mentioned, he hopes that this will entice more people to go into teaching and help them have a good minimum salary and make ends meet. Now, this increase in funding here raises Florida from the 26th highest average teacher salary in the nation to the 5th highest. And this is being touted as the single largest teachers compensation package in the history of the state of Florida. So if you're a teacher, this is a bit of exciting news for you. Obviously, there's some more steps to be made before you really feel it in your pocket. However, this is still a bit of good news. Now, before we get into your business and sports story, we're going to take another quick commercial break. We'll be right back.
At Duke Energy, we deliver electricity and so much more, like free home energy assessments, rebates for energy-saving improvements, payment options to help you better manage your budget, and even bill credits for helping the community use less energy. So no matter what you're doing, we can help you make better energy choices every day. It's just another way we bring power to your life. How much can you save?
All right, guys, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. In the business news, Disneyland out in California has chosen to delay their reopening plans. And of course, this ties into what you just heard me say about the most recent COVID-19 cases and the huge spikes that we're seeing in the most populous states, California being one of them. So as of right now, the resort announced on Wednesday that they're going to delay the opening of the theme parks and the hotel. There's currently no new date given because as of right now, they're waiting for guidance from the government before they make any new changes, particularly given the number of employees and staff that they have to manage. On the good side, the downtown Disney district will reopen on July 9th. So that's still a thing for those in that area that want to go and enjoy the area, especially given the fact that Disney is the largest private employer in Orange County of California. And of course, our Disney here is in Orange County, Florida. But that is the latest update with that. You guys had heard us announce their original reopening plans, but things have been put on pause given to the recent spike in COVID-19 cases. So they will continue to be careful. Now, jumping over to sports news, the PGA Championship will go forward. It will take place at Harding Park out in California. So this is going to happen without fans, though. So if you're someone who is looking forward to maybe attending that, they're choosing not to have fans there. It's going to take place in San Francisco. So as of right now, they're continuing to follow the advisement of city and county public health authorities and the CDC, all the way through championship week. They want to make sure that everything is safe and sound for everybody that's involved. Of course, the tournament is going to be played August 6th to 9th. It was originally scheduled for May 14th to 17th, and it had to be postponed due to COVID-19. So that is our update with sports for you. Now we're going to take one last quick commercial break, and we'll be back with the lovely Jamesia Stoudemire out of Los Angeles for your entertainment 4 for 4. Come back.
At Taco John's, you can expect one thing, so good, as in quality ingredients used in tacos and burritos made just for you. Every single bite.
So good.
Expect nothing less at Taco John's.
All right, guys, we are back. You guys know it is Thursday, so we are bringing you your entertainment 4 for 4 with the lovely Jamesia Stoudemire out of Los Angeles. Good afternoon, Jamesia.
Afternoon, team. How you doing out there?
Doing good.
That is awesome to hear. Hey, everybody. This is Jamesia Stoudemire with your entertainment 4 for 4 for June 25th. All right, so starting off with number 1, we're going to start off with Disney to replace Splash Mountain Song of the South theme ride with Princess and the Frog. So what is going on? As we all know, and this is a picture kind of how they're going to reimagine it when they change it over to the Princess and the Frog theme ride. So they don't know the name of this ride yet. We just know the theme, which is from the movie Princess and the Frog, which takes place in New Orleans and has a beautiful African-American Disney princess. So as we all know, currently with the racial, the things going on with the passing of George Floyd and just the change of, people, racial systemic going on, the Disney is making the change. So the ride actually exists in 3 parks of Disney's. It's located in Disneyland, Disney World, and Disney Tokyo. As of right now, Disneyland and Disney World will both be reimagined into the Princess and the Frog theme. Again, we don't know the name, but why it's being changed is because, again, Song of the South, which many people don't really remember this song, and it actually was it hasn't been banned, but it's in the Disney vault and will not be re-released anytime soon because of a lot of the racial criticism that the movie has around it. In this movie, it had James Beckett, I believe his name is, and Hattie McDaniels, who also was in Gone with the Wind. And this movie was released in 1964 and made over $65 million. But if a lot of people remember the song Zippity Doo Dah, Zippity Day, this is where that song came from, was that movie. Many sing-alongs came out based around the movie, but again, the theme park or the actual ride was constructed in 1980 or debuted in 1984 in the California theme park. So it's time, and it's actually the original ride was transformed from the American Song ride into now it is Splash Mountain, which in the future will be Princess and the Frog. And reimagining, they're able to use a lot of the creatures and things to repurpose them into the new creatures for the new ride. So I'm definitely excited to see how that'll turn out. It's going in, the project is taking place in California, which Melissa recently just talked on, that, they had postponed that due to waiting for the state guidelines to be released. But it's going to start there. So it'll be close to the New Orleans Square. So that'll definitely have a good bleed over into that ride. So I'm definitely excited and thankful to see those changes taking place at Disneyland, or Disney Corporation in general. And number 2, LA Times faces race challenges in the staff and pages. So, as we all know, LA Times has been around for, we don't all know, but LA Times has been around for over 100 years. And in doing so, in the last 2 years, it was actually bought by local ownership. And they're actually from South African and Asian descent, the husband of the family. So the LA Times, and what happened is recently on Wednesday, the executive editor in the article from LA Times, they had a staff meeting, and the Norman Pearlstein, just really was talking to the staff as well as other executive staff members, really acknowledging that they have dropped the balls in areas where they could have been a more diverse publication. And in some of those facts, they have a total of 502 journalists that work at the LA Times, and 61% of them are white, 5.2% of Black, making up a total number of 26 Black journalists out of those 502. And they know that they need to change that because based on the LA demographic, the numbers just don't match. And with it being the LA Times, it should reflect the people that they are giving their information to. So, I definitely want to commend the LA Times for taking the moment to just acknowledge and even say sorry. They actually, another thing about the LA Times, they only have one Black reporter, and her name is Angela Jennings. And as it goes on to say in that article, they inform us that there has been definitely some they acknowledge some of the places where Black employees and women have had race payment, like a larger payment break, which took place in a lawsuit that a couple other employees did earlier this year against LA Times, underneath the Women's Act and so forth. So definitely, I just want to commend them on taking the moment to acknowledge the things that they have done wrong and how they, and I hope that they spoke to their staff about the changes and the ways that they anticipate on changing them and making it a more diverse staff. And number 3. the Dixie Chicks officially changed their name to the Chicks. So as many of us know, the Dixie Chicks is a Grammy-winning country group. Mostly, many know them from kind of their music that they did towards George Bush back during his candidacy. But recently, the Dixie Chicks decided to drop the name Dixie because of its relationship to slavery. As we all know, Dixie is tied to the southern U.S. states, which were Confederate. So they wanted to release that, which actually kind of follows suit of Lady Antebellum, who dropped Antebellum and now is Lady A. A cool part about this is that they actually took the moment because the Chicks is actually also owned by, I believe, another group in New Zealand. So in their public statement, they just wanted to thank the ladies for allowing them to use the name the United States and then the brand so that they can continue to move forward. And I think it's awesome. They know that the women can come together because at the end of the day, we are all Chicks. So congratulations to them and really making those changes, as a brand. And also, you can make sure you get their new album. It'll be their first album in 14 years. It'll come out next month. And they just released their new music video, March, what you can find on YouTube and other streaming platforms. All right. And number 4 for the day, so I actually got this title wrong, guys. I apologize. What's actually, I should say, is Will Smith, Sir Richard Williams, which is the father of Serena and Venus Williams, and Warner Brothers is being sued by another entity. Now, what is going in this picture here? You see Richard giving Serena a hug in this beautiful picture. He helped his daughters, become the superstars that they are today and that we all know, being their father and training them. But what is going on? So here is the scoop. Richard actually wrote a book, Black and White, I believe was the name of it, and he sold those rights along with his life story rights to TW3 Entertainment and Power Moves Multimedia. So what has happened is Will Smith's company, Overbrook and Warner Brothers, also purchased a life story as coming a biopic this November entitled King Richard, which actually has Will Smith playing Richard Williams, the father of Serena and Venus Williams. However, the other company, TW3 and Power Moves Multimedia, said that they were cut out of the movie pick. And so what they actually want to be done is for all that money that is received to be funneled into a trust and given back to them. There has not been any word from Overbrook or the Richard Williams, but this is definitely something to stay on top of. And I'm just sorry. I'm excited to hear that there's a movie about the Williams sisters' father, which definitely a great man, interested to know more about, because he definitely dedicated his life to those two queens. But again, you guys, I want to say thank you for tuning in to the Entertainment 444. I want to give a good luck to all of the BET nominees, as the BET Award Show will be this Sunday on CBS, as well as BET and BET Her. So, good luck and congratulations to those that were nominated. And thank you again for tuning in. And be sure to follow me at THE_ENT_MOGUL. Over to you, Melissa.
Thank you so much, Jamesia. Always a pleasure having you on. Thank you so much. All right, guys. So that does it here for us at the Evening News Rundown. Tomorrow is Friday, so you guys know it is a packed day. So be sure to tune in at 1 p.m. Eastern, where Jennifer Rosario will be coming back with the Entertainment Buzz. She'll be interviewing the lovely Sana Kibbs, who is a media personality and fashionista. So be sure to tune in to that interview. That looks to be exciting. And of course, I will be back at 5 p.m. Eastern with the Evening News Rundown, followed at 8 p.m. by Casey with the FNN Sports Take at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. So as always, you guys be sure to tune in. If you haven't already, be sure to like us on Facebook. You can find us at Florida National News, at FNN News TV, or at FNN News Live. Be sure to follow us on Instagram if you're over there. You can find us at Florida National News over there. And don't forget to subscribe on YouTube. You can find us there at Florida National News. Be sure to click the little bell icon so you get all the notifications for all of our shows. In the meantime, thanks so much for tuning in this afternoon. You have a great rest of your Thursday. Take care.